Good afternoon and welcome to our next webinar, and I have a really great guest to introduce to you. So I'm going to introduce you to Becky. Now Becky is the segment manager for our Twinkl handwriting segment, and she's here to do a webinar all about how you can use handwriting as part of your home ed journey. I'm on the chat, so if you have any questions or anything, we may not be answering those in the chat, but you can pop those in if you do have any at the end, and we can always get back to you with some of those answers. But I'm going to head over to Becky and say welcome. I'm really looking forward to hearing all about how you can incorporate handwriting into your home ed provision. So yeah, over to you.
Brilliant. Thank you. Lovely to be here. An afternoon. Right, I'm going to take you through a few things that are to do with the Twinkl handwriting scheme. So during this webinar, I'm going to go over an overview of the handwriting scheme and how you might want to dip into it, how to choose the right handwriting style for your child or children, about how to practice handwriting through cross-curricular themes and topics, about ways to make handwriting fun, and also what to do if your child is finding pencil control or handwriting difficult. So primarily then, the handwriting scheme was designed as a whole school unit of work for handwriting, but there are definitely elements within the handwriting scheme that you will be able to use to take your child on a journey from them being around age 3 to 4, right up to the point where you consider them to be fluent and joined handwriters. So within the scheme, it's very much a pick and mix approach. And we have 26 lowercase letter formation packs that all come with a PowerPoint if you did want to use that on your computer screen or tablet. They have a plan that comes with it and also some related activity sheets. We also, as well, for people who want to take a more structured approach to it all, is we have some overviews that take you through certain age ranges of which sessions you'd like to deliver. Within the handwriting scheme, we also have 26 capital letter formation packs. We have 0 to 9 number formation packs, and we have lots of different rewards and visual aids that can help with joined handwriting. So on the Twinkl website, and we can send you a link to this, you can actually download for free the Twinkl handwriting font. So if you want to have worksheets, activity sheets, display materials in the same font as that your child is learning, you'll be able to download it, and it pulls through into Microsoft Word. Everything we offer is available in 2 different styles. On the website, they are called cursive, which is actually our unlooped style, which is just shown there. So that's the one where there are some descender letters that aren't actually fully joined. So like on the tail of the Y, for example, it doesn't swoop round. It actually is an unjoined letter. The other one that's available is the Twinkl continuous cursive, which is also known as looped, and that is the style that's fully cursive, where all the descender letters are fully joined. The handwriting download also, the font download also includes a pre-cursive handwriting style, which is like the precursor, if you like, to doing any joined writing, but before you actually have the children joining the letters together. So within the handwriting scheme, we have got different families of letters, and some people like to take these families and teach them in sequence because they follow on getting progressively more difficult as you go through the letters. So the first set that we say that is the best letters to start with are what we call the ladder lemma letters, which are shown there, which are ones that start from the top of the letter usually and swoop round and up. Then we've got the one-arm robots, the curly caterpillars, and then the last one, usually the trickiest letters to form, especially in the cursive or continuous cursive style, which are the zigzag monsters, which are V, W, X, and Z. So if you do want to take on more structured sessions with your child, every handwriting pack that you download comes with a suggested order and some warm-up activities that are shown on the PowerPoint that comes with it, just some gross motor warm-ups where they're moving their whole bodies, and then some fine motor warm-ups where they're concentrating on using their hands and fingers. And then the planning takes you through 5 different stages in very much a pick and mix approach. So it's up to you to choose a starting point where you'd like your child to start. They go through these progressive stages. So step 1 is all about getting ready to write. So this is primarily aimed at children probably age 3 to 5. It doesn't have to necessarily be taught to that age children. If you've got somebody that's a little bit older than that, that's still developing the gross and fine motor skills, and all these activities are still fine to use with those. So it's very much about gaining stability and strength and perception, and also working on a pencil grip within these activities. And at this stage, within all the materials, we just show the letters in a printed style. We don't show them with like the cursive lead-ins and lead-outs. The next step then is step 2, which is forming letter families, which is where we introduce the letter families that I've just spoken about. Again, we just show the letters in what's called just a printed style rather than having the lead-ins and lead-out. And it's also about securing that knowledge of phonics as well, and the starting letters of words. This in terms of in the school overviews, we would recommend that this is a stage that is taught around year 1. So that's for children aged 5 to 6. Step 3 goes on to start to introduce the precursive and lead-ins and lead-outs to the letters, and it's more about positioning and using the correct size and position and spacing of letters. So this is where we tend to introduce the smaller line guides for the children to work on, and every letter pack at this stage starts to introduce their handwriting guidelines onto the PowerPoints, like I say, that you can use on a laptop or tablet, that show you the animated actual animation of the letter being formed on the screen. Next step, step 4, is about joining letters. So this is for children who will be going into lower key stage 2, so years 3 and 4, so age 7 to 9. But again, you might have a child that's more able at a younger age that can start to do these joining letter packs. So again, it's just about increasing the legibility and the quality and consistency of your writing in a joined style. And then the last step, which is aimed at older children or more able children, is increasing fluency, style and speed. So this is very much about writing for everyday tasks. There's a lot of things in there about using capital letter formation as well to fill in things like forms and applications. There's lots of handwriting, poetry tasks, riddles, things like that. So it's just about applying those joined handwriting skills in lots of different ways. So choosing a handwriting style then, as I said, we've got 2 different styles that are available to you. There's guidance about this in the handwriting user guide if you download it. So Twinkl cursive, as I said, which we call Twinkl unlooped, is the cursive style that has some unjoined letters, which are shown there, and it only has the lead outs to the letters to join onto the next letter. Whereas the Twinkl continuous cursive has no unjoined letters. It's fully cursive with all the lead in and lead outs. So it's completely up to you as to which style you would prefer to choose, and every letter pack is available in both styles. So I think probably a lot of home educators would probably favour teaching handwriting through topics and cross-curricular themes. So we've worked really hard within Twinkl Handwriting to get some practice materials together for handwriting practice that work through other areas of the curriculum or other topics. So we have a lot of handwriting practice materials that relate to spelling. We have a lot that take the children on the journey through phonics and that link quite closely to the Twinkl phonics scheme. But then we also have a lot of cross-curricular topic links. So we have lots of practice booklets that link to different periods of history. We have lots of booklets that link to different science concepts. We have religious festivals and events within handwriting practice booklets, and also geography as well. So one of the main things, I think the best way of teaching handwriting is to make it feel less like a chore and more like fun. So we've got an increasingly large collection of handwriting activities that we are adding to all the time. So we've got handwriting joke booklets where the children are writing the punchlines to jokes in their chosen handwriting style. We've got lots of different fun booklets that involve a lot of different characters and lots of different ways of practicing pencil control. We also do a lot of those linked to different events and themes, like this one that's just shown here, which is the St. Patrick's Day one. We do also, for children that might be struggling a little bit with the fine motor skills and pencil grip, offer 2 different intervention schemes as well. So we have got the early years and key stage 1. So this is for children from 3 to 7 years. We've got a 6-week program called the Flying Star intervention, which takes children on a journey through 6 weeks worth of different sessions with all the related resources there to try and help with their early letter formation and pencil grip. And we are just currently working on a scheme, an intervention scheme for older children, so 7+, which is called Racing Ahead. And it's very much for older children that are going into their junior years, but are still struggling with the basics of fine motor skills, pencil grip and letter formation. We've tried really, really hard to make that look more grown up. So that, and a lot of materials out there on the market for handwriting interventions for younger children, but they do look quite childlike and quite childish for older learners. So we've really worked hard to try and make this look like it's for an older audience, but it's practicing those basic handwriting skills. There's lots of brilliant places on the website that you can visit for more information. We've got links through to the handwriting landing page, and the handwriting product guide's got a lot of information in there. And also we've got a free handwriting taster pack for children in age 3 to 7 and then 7 to 11. If you do have any issues or problems or requests, or would like to speak to me about anything that you'd like to see in Twinkl Handwriting in the future, then please get in touch. Thanks.
Thank you so much. So I think a couple of the things to ask you, a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Is first of all, if you're starting out and you have kind of cursive and continuous cursive or looped and unlooped, how would you, is there any advice on which one to kind of plonk for, and which one, if you've got a learner and you want to start which one do you do?
We took a lot of advice when making the scheme from the Handwriting Association, who actually the advice is now fed into some Ofsted and DFE guidance to use in schools. So the main thing that we do follow, whichever style you choose, if you're following those first steps, is to teach the child to do the handwriting letters just in printed form, so that you're not having the lead-ins into the letters. So we do that from step 1 to step 3 of both styles of the handwriting packs anyway. Then it is very much personal preference. I don't know if you've had your child has actually done schooling previously and you want to follow the same style as they would have previously been taught. You can perhaps ask the school about that. The only real difference is those descender letters that I showed you. So there's just a number of descender letters that are in the cursive unlooped, that where you just like break off and you don't join. I think a lot of children find the continuous cursive looped the easier one because there's not that break off and it's all looped and continuous. So it's easier to for the children to develop the fluency, but it's very much personal choice.
Amazing. I think the other thing I really liked about that is talking about being ready for handwriting, and I think home educating, we have that luxury a little bit that we don't have to quickly go through that. And I think with my eldest, who's always found handwriting quite tricky, I think we spent a lot longer doing kind of gross and fine motor skills than potentially he would have got had he gone to school. And I think sometimes that's a really key point that is often overlooked, the importance of providing all those opportunities.
And that is the beauty of the scheme, is that the step one materials that are in every pack can be used in any age group. So they're very much things that are like using tweezers or scissors or threading or just lots of different activities to really get the children, as it said, ready to write. Because until you've actually got that fine motor control, picking up a pencil, it's just not worthwhile until you've got the basics in place.
I learned that from my eldest very much, in terms of he just didn't have the strength, and he said, it hurts and I don't like handwriting. And I think with my daughter I took a lot more time to develop that, and I think that that is a really great point from the webinar. I think the other thing to pick up is that older children, that raise the head, older children, even though it's used as intervention in school, I think if you have a slightly older learner and you want actually something that you can just take off of Twinkl and use to work on handwriting, I think that's an amazing pack. And I think the fact that it doesn't look babyish is
that was the big thing we worked on. We're just currently uploading the last few of those. I think it's a 6-week program, so we're up to about week 4 we're on to with uploading them now. But the overview of the entire scheme is already on there. But that was very much at the top of the list of things that we wanted, because there's lots, as I said, lots of interventions out there, and you could have used the other one, the Flying Start one, but that is designed and does look like it's made for younger learners, whereas this one is very much for older children.
And I think also there's lots of home educators that don't know about all of those cross-curricular packs, and for us who tend to do kind of themed learning, that is kind of something that they're really interested in. So religious festivals we might be looking at is something we regularly dip into throughout the course of the year. And also, history and geography topics and science. And I think that is going to be, an amazing resource for home educators that maybe don't want to teach it as a structured everyday thing, but want to do it within topics. And I don't think that as many home educators are aware of that is there. And for us, as I said, back to my eldest, that is definitely the way that it works best with regards to developing his handwriting, because it's almost like not trickery, but it's like they don't realise
getting it in without them noticing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's really, really useful and really, really helpful.
We've got lots and lots of those booklets already on site, with lots and more coming through development as well. But please do let us know if there's any big glaring missing topics, themes that you would like adding to, because we could definitely add more to that series.
That's really great. But thank you so much for your time. We really do appreciate it. And as I said, any other questions that aren't picked up in the chat, then we will get those to Becky and get back to you. But thank you so much,
Thanks.
Becky.
Thank you.
It was really, really useful.